At first, they were telling us it just might be the best Marvel movie ever since Black Panther. But now, the tunes, they are a-changing. Thunderbolts is releasing, and fans are now worried that perhaps Marvel has lost its touch, lost its magic and its sway with audiences. Will they come back one more day, one more debut? Or is this the time when Marvel shows it's truly losing those it needs the most? Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to dive in, analyze, and explain what's coming your way when it comes to entertainment. Today, we're talking about Thunderbolts, which has a very peculiar situation. Tremendous reviews, yet projections that show that Marvel might not have a clue about what audiences, instead of critics, really desire. Folks, let's dive in, and we'll tell you what you might see coming out of the box office this weekend with Thunderbolts. All right, out of Cosmic Book News by Matt McGloin, Thunderbolts debuts with top 10 MCU Rotten Tomatoes score. You're going to want to pay attention to the time on this. This came out at 12:34 p.m. Eastern Time, and Matt McGloin says the first batch of reviews for Marvel's Thunderbolts is out, and the film is currently one of the top rated in the MCU, landing in the top 10. Now, this is not the only article. We just like Matt McGloin, so we wanted to use this one, but there are plenty of articles out there saying a similar thing. Lots of journalists immediately got cracking on their keyboards to make sure they knew what was happening with the first reviews. They've got to be the first one out, right? With the first 58 reviews, Thunderbolts is currently fresh with a 91% Rotten Tomatoes score. That makes Thunderbolts tied with Spider-Man Far From Home at number 9 on the MCU Rotten Tomatoes charts. And folks, let me tell you, if it's as good as Spider-Man Far From Home, that's a big deal, right? Well, if we go to Rotten Tomatoes now, it's down to 88%. It is dropping. And why is it dropping? Well, if we click on the 91 reviews and we check out the top critics, the top critics are still liking this, but we are getting some splattage, at least one splattage in the top critics. If we go to the all critics, we are finding out that there are more splats happening. Now, why would that be? Well, one thing to pay attention to is, although the top critics are much more difficult to sway, the top critics also, and this is just speculation on my part, the top critics also have much more to lose if the industry itself loses. And we are actually at the cusp of the superhero genre being in deep, deep doo-doo. That's French, folks. But it is apparent to me at this point, there's a lot to lose if this goes down. Because then you're on the edge of 3 straight flops for Marvel if Fantastic Four also goes that way. And so there may be an effort to try to make this do okay. Now, I'm not suggesting that there's manipulation. I'm not suggesting that there's coordination. I'm just looking at what Alan Ng from Film Threat, who we trust very much, has to say. He went and saw Thunderbolts and he said, my brain hurts and I feel sad. So I'm just struggling a wee bit right now. I'm just struggling to understand how it is that Alan Ng, who is a very trusted Rotten Tomatoes reviewer, had this kind of a visceral reaction coming out of the theater from Thunderbolts, yet it's as good as some of the top Marvel movies ever made. I don't know. We haven't watched it yet. I have not given my review of it. I'm going to go see it Thursday evening. But panel, what do you think is happening here? Can this film be as good as Rotten Tomatoes originally was saying, and now it's dropping? Or should we go to Film Threat and consider what Alan Ng has to say?
This is an interesting one. It's so filled with characters that are so B-list, and nobody really knows about it. A lot of people have said, well, maybe this will be a surprise, like Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014, and but it's one of those things where very, very difficult at this point in time to have trust or faith in Marvel, and especially in anything that is a continuation of whatever the story that they've been stirring up over the last several years, because I don't really know exactly what the story is. But the reason Deadpool and Wolverine worked so well, it was anomaly. It was outside of that. They even kind of used the TVA and made fun of the TVA at the same time while they were using it. So it was fun. It was like almost a parody of itself in some ways. And it was fun to watch, and it had big surprises and all of that stuff. Thunderbolts, here's the thing. even if it is a decent movie, I just don't think it's going to get viewed enough that it's going to make a profit. I think it'll struggle to break even. I honestly, I don't see this movie doing anything but struggling to break even when it comes to the box office. And I don't know. It looks very bland to me.
Well, I'll tell you, we're paying close attention to it. The projections appear to have dropped down even farther than what they were before. We'll talk about that in a minute. I do want to say that they're gloating right now, and I don't know if it's earned it yet, but Wesley Yin Poole over at IGN says MCU stars goal for anyone who thinks Thunderbolts is going to blow. I want to make you eat your words. Frankly, it's a missed opportunity to put the word crow in there, but It goes on to talk about how Wyatt Russell, who plays U.S. Agent, that's the name, U.S. Agent, is determined to prove that this is a fantastic Marvel film and wants the critics to absolutely be embarrassed that they would ever have said, this might not work. Now, my thought on it is the same as Ron's. Jonas, you hop in if you'd like. I'm worried that the quality might not matter at this point. I think Marvel has reached Star Wars status.
I think the real problem with this film is you have 3 Captain America rejects and a Black Widow reject that are a big part of this team, and also Taskmaster from the Black Widow movie. You have to go into an era of the Avengers where no, it's just the MCU in general, where people weren't paying attention at that point.
And Ghost.
We have right, and Ghost, who is the villain of Ant-Man and the Wasp, which it was while the MCU was firing on all cylinders, but it wasn't the most popular film in the MCU. I'm trying to think who is Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier. Okay, he's a prime member of the MCU, but everyone else, no matter the quality of their performances, because I hear David Harbour is good, I hear that Florence Pugh is good. I've seen Wyatt Russell in things where he delivers a great performance, but as far as the MCU connectivity thing here, I actually think that that's working against this movie. If it wasn't Marvel, I think people would be talking about the new property that's coming around the bend here. People would be, hey, look, they finally put money into an original IP. But instead, we get something that is so bogged down with weight and homework. I don't think that anyone is going to really be interested in this. I don't think people know what the villain of this is supposed to be. And as I've been watching trailers recently, I think Hollywood has forgotten how to sell a movie that isn't already a connected universe. They're relying on interviews. They're relying on things like that. I could tell you immediately from the first line of the trailer for, I'm not even going to say the movie, I was going to watch this movie. He said, I am going to steal the Declaration of Independence. Okay, I'm getting a ticket for that. I have no idea what this movie is about, and the only thing it's got going for it is it's attached to things that I've seen and was bored by. So,
but I'm going to say funny thing and maybe drop pants because I am Russian clown.
Well, just so everybody knows how the game is played, this is how the game is played in real time. So Rotten Tomatoes releases the reviews, and they release the positive reviews first. Okay? Now, we can say that it's orchestrated, or we can say that it was just organically it happened. However it plays out, Rotten Tomatoes releases the positive reviews first. Articles are written, whether it's on Cosmic Book News, which we love Matt McGloin, or it's on Thunderbolts News. Thunderbolts News was so quick that they said it's the second highest rated MCU film ever on Rotten Tomatoes because they were that quick. And then the scores drop and drop and drop back to where it is more average, let's say. Now, 88% is still good. We expect, though, that there will be something like 200 reviews from critics, not 92. So how much farther will this drop? We also have friends who have watched this who say it's not bad at all. Christian Toto from Hollywood and Toto is saying that it's a pretty good film. I don't know the answer yet. I just am watching the way the game is played. I find it interesting. Mark, do you see any parallels in the way that they market these movies and how they game the system with polling?
No, I mean, yeah, like that's what they're doing here. It's there's so much packed in here because culture has changed. Like everybody just used to go to the movies on the weekend because that's just what you did. It was like cultural. It's not anymore. So people need a reason to go to the movies. And some of the movies, it's like, oh, it's a really good movie. Word of mouth is awesome. I'm going to go see it. And others, it's really good marketing. Like that's probably why Guardians of the Galaxy 1 did really well. The marketing was off the hook for that. And that was characters nobody knew about. And they went and showed that. I think what you're seeing with the Marvel movies is just they're mediocre or not worth going to. And the ticket price has gone up so much. We talked about Deadpool and Wolverine making so much money as an R-rated movie, but it's only like number 20th inflation adjusted. People just really don't go to the movies. And the problem with Disney is you spent $400 billion or whatever, right? Like you spent too much money on it. If they hadn't spent hundreds of millions of dollars, we wouldn't be talking about this. It'd just be a movie people went to, it'd probably make some money. And it's just not the cultural zeitgeist. The problem they have is the cultural zeitgeist is crapping on it in audience reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't even know if that really affects the movie that much. If people watch a TikTok video and they come up with some reason to go to the movies, they're probably going to do it. And like, again, the polling on Disney just showed the ambivalence among 18 to 39-year-olds, most likely to be most of the butts in the seats. They actually said, yeah, it's a good idea that Disney puts out live action movies. They actually have a majority favorable impression of Disney. They just don't do it. They're watching TikTok or streaming stuff on Netflix. Disney can't stay relevant and they haven't figured out a way. And they can't now. Like this is, what was your brand strategy 10 years ago when this is playing out? And I also think that the critics, you might as well, I mean, that's just like, that's a fart in a hurricane. Like nobody cares. And we've done our own measuring of our own industry because we're interested in credibility. How likely is it that many public pollsters adjust their results to fit media political narratives? 71% say likely, 19% don't, only 4% say not at all likely. Which is closer to your beliefs. Some pollsters were deliberately adjusting numbers to support Kamala Harris, 48%. Most pollsters just don't know how to accurately predict elections, 35%. And this fits so many other models. Like we asked about the Bureau of Labor Statistics understating job losses, and people overwhelmingly thought that it was political. It wasn't a mistake. So people know these systems get gamed, and it's just so transparent. Like it's all an op. It's all fake. And we just want to go back to authenticity. And the companies I don't think are going to be able to do it.
So to go to what we're looking at here, folks, because ultimately the reviews, they don't matter. Ultimately, the quality of the film, I don't know that it matters. What matters ultimately, and I mean ultimately, is do people vote with their wallets? That's all. That's what's going to call it, right? So in elections, who goes and votes? With these consumer items such as movies, who goes to the theaters? Well, right now, according to the Hollywood Reporter, and this is what we're watching, Pamela McClintock has this. According to tracking the tent pole, this is Thunderbolts is headed for a domestic debut between 63 million and 77 million, with a target number of 70. Now, if it's a 70 million, where does that put it? Panel, this puts it under Eternals. Now, I hope, for the sake of everybody involved, I hope that it's a good movie. I hope it's a great movie. I have to go watch it. It's in my interest for this to be good, right? And that would be fantastic to give a positive review. Wouldn't that be shocking and surprising if Pro puts out a positive review? Because I will if it's a good movie. At the same time, I'm watching the cultural relevancy of Marvel, and I can't help but notice that 70 million and less than the Eternals means that whatever this film is, it's going to need a heck of a hold to hang in there and reach anywhere close to a break even. Not trying to be negative. I'm just following what the industry is saying right now. And the industry is telling me two very different things. Fantastic, highest rated MCU movie since Black Panther, and debuting lower than the Eternals. Where is the truth of it? All I can tell you is that the audience will decide. And this goes back to the new media versus the legacy media. Rotten Tomatoes can put out whatever they want. People don't trust it anymore. They trust what happens in the next few days as they get real reviews from the people that they believe in. And it's not the critics or the legacy anymore. Panel, final thoughts on this?
Yeah, listen, I think it was said in the chat, there's desperation here. If you remove Wolverine, Deadpool, and Spider-Man, it's been, 5 or 6 years without a major hit from Marvel. The people don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. We're long removed from the days of Siskel and Ebert, Rex Reed, all those guys. So the credibility is it's pretty much gone. You're talking about a movie that's jam-packed with C-list characters that really should have been one of the first movies to come out after Endgame. And it's just people don't have the spending capital for mediocre anymore. The interest is waning. Listen, the superhero bubble has popped. It's just a matter of, are we willing to admit it yet? People are moving on. They're moving on. They just haven't found something to replace it yet. And listen, we're talking 70 million with inflation, with an inflated number. So that means that fine, they're going to make 70 million, but that 70 million doesn't come anywhere remotely close to the eternal 70 million, because that means fewer people want to go see this. So it's only going to get, because ticket prices are so high. There is a major problem here. The MCU is probably less recognizable at this point than MCU. People are, I mean, think about it. When you talk about Marvel, no, actually, I don't think they're super diehards anymore. Most people kind of cringe a little bit, like, whatever, it used to be good. It used to be the cool thing. But whatever. There is no real enthusiasm for this movie. To me, I think Fantastic Four was their last best hope outside of spending Europe's GDP on whatever's going to be for this Avengers movie. As the kids say, they're cooked. That's where I'm at on it.
They're cooked. They're toast. Go ahead, Ron.
Well, I was just going to say again, and I think I had said this before, right after the show, I am going to take my older son to see Revenge of the Sith. And I asked him, does he want to go see Thunderbolts? I'm like, I have no interest in that. But he wants to see Revenge of the Sith. And he called me out of the blue to ask me to take him to see it, this 20-year-old Star Wars movie that he has access to on Disney Plus if he wants to watch it. But no, he wants to go to see this, a good Star Wars movie. Again, he's in his 20s, so this to him is from his childhood nostalgia, because at 2, he wasn't able to really, take this in at the movie theater, but now he's 22, and he wants to take it in. And this is, I think it's incredible. And we see the difference. I'm very interested in opening weekend of Thunderbolts versus re-release of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I was of the mindset for a while that the X-Men might have still been able to save Marvel. I don't even think that anymore. I think this Fantastic Four movie is going to be the final blow. I think what we are looking at right now is a situation where it is basically like it's to the point of Star Wars. Now, this Daredevil show came out, and before anyone knew that it wasn't great, there was no reason to not watch it, especially if you loved the original, like so many do, and nobody watched it. That was when I realized, oh, okay, Marvel is not dying, Marvel's dead. If this opens below Eternals, then I mean we're redefining where the bottom of the barrel is over and over and over again. Kurt Russell's son can say whatever he wants, but he's not going to be in a successful Marvel movie the way his daddy was.
Very well said. Folks, that's where we'll leave it for now. The review for Thunderbolts comes out either Thursday night or Friday morning here on the Pro Channel, and we will give you the truth as best we can, because we're a friend to everyone trying to find a good movie. Pulling Hollyweird to the sensible center, the mainstream middle where money is made, is not easy, but folks, you make it easy to make videos each and every day, because sharing time with you is a great honor, and we never take it lightly. An attitude of gratitude every single time we have the chance to shine with you. Until the next time, we only ask that you click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, don't worry about paying any kind of tuition for this free class and how entertainment works. You are on scholarship. Highest IQ on the internet. That's you for sure. Until the next time we have the opportunity to spend time together, folks, we just ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.
Hey, Floral, guess what?
You put a fork in Pro's microwave again.
No, that was yesterday.
I don't know that what.
Oh, I've decided to give up on torturing Jonas.
What? Why? In the same way the cat sleeps like 20 hours a day, that was like your purpose.
I know, but I've decided there's bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
Like Lorne. I mean, think about it. Everybody loves him. He's a fan favorite, and frankly, he has almost no weaknesses I can find. Except that he's really smart.
So, you want to annoy the one panelist without a single flaw, because he's smart.
Yeah, like that winged statue at that fancy Paris museum thingy. I want to break the one thing that everyone loves most.
So, kind of like the opposite of Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, exactly. And I get to see her all the time at family reunions anyway.
You get to see Rachel Zegler?
Yeah. I mean, she's a total troll. Lives under a bridge, harasses billy goats, the whole 9 yards.
It all makes sense now.
Speaking of which, maybe she'll get me... Okay, call her on my... I'm gonna call her and see if she'll be in the next Indiana Jones. She should be the next Indiana Jones. That'll totally destroy Lord. He loves Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's cruel.
Hey, Rach. I've got a cool idea for you that involves a whip and snakes.
I love that description. It's perfect.
I know, right? Weird, as we always say.